past few days, I've been extremely paranoid and constantly on high alert, all because of one silly mistake I made, which led to a series of terrifying events. My name is Brandon, and I am 15 years old. This incident occurred on a rainy Tuesday night. I was bored out of my mind scrolling on TikTok when a video of Nick at 30 attempting to direct a movie in Fortnite popped up. In the video, Nick was trying to direct a scene with Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal, but ended up getting griefed by some troll that shot him and ended up ruining the scene. Upon the troll ruining his scene, Nick ordered his mods to ban him from all customs. I laughed at the video for quite a bit and sent it to a group chat with my friends. Soon after sending it, my friend, who for the purpose of this video I'll call Chucho, jokingly said,
"Nah, bro, you should join one of his customs and grief him."
I know Chucho suggested this to me as a joke, but after reading it a few times, I realized I finally found a cure to my seemingly endless boredom. I didn't even bother to answer the message before looking up how to join Nick at 30's customs. After doing a bit of research, I joined Nick's server on Discord. Once I joined the server, I had to link my Epic account to some bot. I guess I got lucky because not too long after I linked my account, Nick announced that he would be doing customs tonight. I hopped on my PS4 to pass some time, and after trolling some kids in rapid box fights for a good hour, it was finally time for Nick to put out the code for customs. Once the code came out, I instantly clicked the thumbs up button, to which I got a friend request from the bot on Fortnite and an invite to Nick's customs. I then quickly got out my computer and pulled up Nick's stream. I was so excited to see Nick's stream intro, highly anticipating the mischievous acts I was about to commit in his customs. Once I loaded into the customs, I secretly grabbed a Havoc pump shotgun that I found in a tree when no one was looking. I then directed my attention towards the stream and waited for Nick's orders. Nick announced that in today's customs, we would be creating a scene where Nick is crowned as king, but Cypher PK and Chun-Li interrupt and ruin his ceremony. I changed into the Terminator's skin as Nick ordered us to do so. Once I got into position, I made sure I had my shotgun ready. Once Nick started filming the scene and came closer to me, I quickly pulled out my shotgun and hit a headshot for 180 damage and then quickly pickaxed him. As soon as Nick died, the other players in the customs aimed their guns at me and killed me within a second. But I didn't care. The job had already been done. I directed my attention back towards the stream and started hysterically laughing once I saw Nick start flipping out.
Mods, ban him. Ban him from Discord and all future customs.
I was now uncontrollably laughing until Nick said something a little more disturbing.
And mods, find where he lives and make him learn his lesson.
Never mess with the king.
I stopped laughing and sat there all alone in my dark room, puzzled for a few seconds. Normally I would have thought that this was a joke, but the way Nick said it sounded serious and meaningful. Did Nick's mods really have the ability to find my location and punish me? No. There was no way. They're just some Fortnite mods, right? Well, that's what I convinced myself, and it seemed to do a good job as I quickly went back to laughing and clipped the stream and sent it to my friends. A little while after sending the clip to my friends, one of my friends, who for the purpose of this video I'll call TNT, sent me a concerning message.
Bro, I can't tell if Nick is joking or not, but when Nick tells his mods to do something, they do it. I'm not trying to scare you, but this shit actually may be serious. Anyways, watch your back, man.
What TNT said made me really understand the situation I got myself into. He was right. Nick's mods will do anything for him, and who knows what they're capable of. I tried to take my mind off of it as I got ready for bed until I heard my phone buzz. I walked over to my phone and saw one notification from Discord. Upon opening it, I could see a message from a random account. All the message contained was a hand, which I presumed to be that of a grown man holding 4 plane tickets. Upon closer inspection, I noticed that all the plane tickets were from the Toronto Pearson Airport to the DFW Airport. The thing about this picture that sent chills down my spine was that the DFW Airport was just 30 minutes away from my house. There was no way this was real. It just had to be one of Nick's fanboys that traced my general IP and printed out some fake plane tickets to scare me. I thought about an appropriate response to the message for a few minutes, but all I could come up with was just,
Those tickets fake as fuck, boy.
with a laughing emoji. The user instantly responded with,
Don't underestimate the team.
and immediately blocked me after I started typing again. I screenshotted it and sent it in my group chat with the caption,
Corny ass nerd.
After that, I put my phone down and dozed off into a deep sleep. When I woke up the next morning, my parents both told me that they would be going on a 2-day vacation and that my down bad older brother would be with his girlfriend all day. So, I had the house all to myself. My dad laid down the basic rules, patted me on the back, and then just like that, it was just me all alone in my house. I instantly went back up to my room and crawled back into my bed. When I awoke again, I was feeling horrible and covered in sweat. It was 4:30 and I hadn't eaten anything yet. I went downstairs to make some breakfast when out of the corner of my eye, I saw an unfamiliar car parked across the street from me. It was an old and beat up van painted to look like the battle bus from Fortnite. I shrugged it off as I thought it was just one of the little kids across the street having a Fortnite themed birthday party. After all, the game is fairly popular with little kids. After eating breakfast, I went back to my room and played Fortnite with my friends to pass the time. While we were playing, we were all making constant jokes about the Nick at 30 situation, except for TNT, who seemed very sure that this was a serious thing. We all clowned on him and made fun of him for being a pussy and told him to grow a pair. I also made various jokes on how I would beat the shit out of any Discord mods that tried to come to my house. I was feeling pretty full of myself, but that feeling would soon go away. After a few hours of Fortnite, I went downstairs to make myself some dinner before I would go play some basketball outside of my house for a while. As soon as I went outside, I could see that the battle bus looking van was still parked across the street from my house. I thought that it was a little odd that the van was still there this late in the day, but once again, I shrugged it off as a kid having some sort of Fortnite party. The whole time I was playing basketball, I didn't see anybody come out to the van or let alone hear anything from the house that it was parked by that would indicate that a party was going on. After a while, this started to make me uncomfortable and I quickly made sure to hit my last shot and then go back inside. Once I got back inside, I decided to take a nice warm shower. During my shower, I could hear very faint noises that almost sounded like footsteps coming from outside my house. But of course, I totally ignored them. Upon getting out of the shower, I checked the time on my phone and saw that it was now almost 10 o'clock. I went back to my room and played Fortnite for a few more hours before turning off all the lights in my house and going to bed. Once I was in bed, I quickly fell asleep just as I had the previous night, only this time, I awoke in what seemed like just a few minutes later to a creaking noise coming from downstairs. I could instantly tell what it was. It was the sound of a door opening. I sat up straight in my bed, now terrified. My eyes were open as wide as possible, but I still couldn't see anything in the darkness. For a few seconds, all I could hear was now the eerie silence until it was broken by what seemed to be 4 pairs of footsteps. The footsteps slowly split up and started making their way around the house. I knew I had to act fast. I quickly hid inside of my messy closet and tried to cover myself up with some old clothes. All of a sudden, the footsteps stopped, and I could hear a few men talking amongst themselves, but I couldn't make out what they were saying except for one sentence.
Let's go, Nick.
I now knew what was going on. Nick at 30's mods had hunted me down and came to my house. Everything started to add up now. The battle bus parked outside of my house for hours, the noises I heard outside, and the random person messaging me in Discord. I could now hear the sound of a phone buzzing from downstairs while I waited for Nick to pick up. The buzzing was now louder as it appeared. They put the phone on speaker. The buzzing suddenly stopped and everything went silent. Nick picked up. The silence was broken by Nick's evil commands.
Mods, his bedroom is the first room on the left side of the hallway right when you go up the stairs. Go send him back to the lobby, my faithful mods.
Upon hearing these words, I knew I had to escape quickly. I didn't care about making noise anymore. I jumped out of my hiding spot and ran to my window, but not before I slammed my door and locked it. I ripped open the window as fast as I could and looked down into my lawn below. It was a long ways down, but it was my only shot. I put my legs out first and then my upper body. I took one more look down, and then I jumped. As soon as I landed, I heard a loud snapping sound and knew that I had broken something. But I didn't care. There was too much adrenaline in my body to feel the pain. The only problem was now, I couldn't run. I quickly went down and crouched in a bush while I thought of what I should do next. I turned my attention to the battle bus van across the street and noticed the headlights were still on. Those idiots left their van on. I got up from the bush and dragged myself to the van and immediately locked the door. As I sat in the van ready to drive off, I could see 3 huge men sprinting full speed at the van, all carrying what seemed like pickaxes. I stepped on the gas and floored it down my street. As I got further from my street and the adrenaline wore off, I realized something that didn't add up. There were 3 men chasing me, but there were 4 pairs of footsteps and 4 plane tickets. I looked up at my mirror and saw someone sitting in the back row smiling at me. He reached up to turn on the light, and that's when I realized it was none other than Nick at 30, and he was going to show me who the real king is.